Good morning, everyone. This is Sibbe Bladh. In this time and age, I see so much people that are deeply confused with idealism. They're deeply confused with a lot of opinions and expressing these opinions. And many amongst the spiritual seekers are also idealists who got in their mind that they're going to change this world. They think that the spiritual awakening is about changing the world. But as a spiritual person, you have realized a long time ago that the madness will never end. You understand, the madness will never end in this world. And it's not supposed to end, because madness and all this turmoil, that is the dynamics for special souls to evolve above this. So you see, the confusion must hurt you to drive you to a higher stage. And then you are liberated. Then you have reached the moksha, the freedom of the soul. And the purpose of the soul is to unite with higher immortal forces, divine forces. So you can't get too entangled and involved in this world. We must practice detachment, spiritual detachment from what is going on. In this time and age of media and internet, people get in their minds that it's very important to act and to do certain stuff, but it's all illusion, you see. It's all just information flow. The only thing you can affect is your surrounding, where you stand, where you live in your life. That's all the power you have. So you might as not get involved in these big bullshit theaters that the elites are playing, and with all their puppets amongst the humans that are completely bewitched, that are completely hypnotized and are lost in illusion, lost in fantasy, lost in deception, and forget about themselves, forget about the true nature of humanity. Becoming cynical, and hateful. And it seems like they didn't teach anything, they didn't learn anything from history about the big racist regimes, the genocidal, dictatorial regimes of the past. That was not a thing of the past. That was a product of human nature. You see? So, to change this human nature in ourselves, this impulse to hate or to get drawn to mass movements of opinions, that is to counteract the demonic inside of us, and to become an individual single digit. Because the divine, what we call God, is the self-conscious unit. It's not the mass psychosis consciousness we deal with here. We deal with the individual genius of God in man. So they stand above this. All of them, everyone that reached enlightenment in this world, stand above the constant conflicts and hysteria in the material world. And also they have seen through the constant struggle, competition that is going on in nature and the cruelty of nature, and see this almost half godlike existence to live a beautiful life, to stand above this eternal bloody struggle, this hurt, this swamp of sufferation where the soul has emerged from. But this is not clear for those who are still full with hate and rage and confusion. it's not clear, this. And even good people get hysteria about things and overdo things until it becomes madness, completely unnecessary, pointless actions that has no value, has no sense of reality in it. So as a spiritual person, we must beware so we don't get caught up in this constant waves of illusion. This will go on as long as there is humans, there will be conflict. The human stage is not the ultimate perfect stage of development in space. So force or souls are not supposed to stay in this frequency forever. If this was the ultimate frequency, everything would be completely perfect. And there would be no need to evolve further. You would be immortal and creating only life and beauty. But that's not it. And that's why, the human phase is just a very low step on this eternal ladder to the heavens. And when you're aware of this, you're conscious about this, a lot of things in the world, they get pale, and you lose interest in them. It fades away. It doesn't mean so much to you any longer. For the youths, it means everything. The world is everything. They are completely immersed in illusion. But after living a lifetime, you get distant to this. It's not very important in the big scheme of things, and especially for you privately and your journey, it doesn't mean anything at all. The opposite, they are in the way. When they create turmoil like confusion and conflict, they are in the way of people reaching enlightenment, because that happens in peace and when you're full with faith. You see, you need a faith, you need to believe, you need to be positive to get enlightenment, and to really open your heart and merge with beautiful vibrations. And it cannot happen when you're surrounded by conflict, constant harassment and quarreling. It can hardly happen. Many times the force is there to protect us. So when it gets really bad, the force rise. When you're like dying, or a relative, if you're in deep mourning or something like that, this spontaneously, this divine force can rise in us. So it's not afraid of negative, but as a strategy for life, conflict and negativity has nothing to do with development of internal grace and power and enlightenment. So many people get caught up in the madness, and they are part of the madness and spreading the madness further, which is plunging the world deeper and deeper into the illusion. So they are the antithesis to enlightenment and love. And the paradox is that they scream that they defend love, they defend rights, but they don't look at their own behavior, and no one's listened to them. And then a few years later, maybe someone else come and say the truths that they were trying to bang in people's heads, and people all of a sudden listen to this person, and then they get paranoid and say, "Oh, what the fuck? Who's this person? Why are you listening to him?" Because you couldn't express yourself in a civilized manner. You was behaving like a monkey, and no real human take that serious. So when this peaceful person came with a proper proper management of words, behavior, style. You know, people take it in, people listen. It makes sense all of a sudden. So all the screaming and banging, the only thing that raises is resistance. It's resistance towards your cause. You see, you have to be smart in this fucking game. You can't behave like babies that start screaming every time something don't suit you, or that you want something to happen. Life, you have to be patient. You have to work diligently, methodically, to reach those aims over vast periods of time. So these people want a quick solution. And it's also identifying the spiritual journey as something else that it really is. You know, so when they get caught up in this trying to make a good world or perfect world, they lose all spirituality eventually, and they become like a stone or something that's just part of the physical world. There's no spirit in them any longer. They merged with the physical, because the physical was all they valued and was fighting to organize. They never cared about love. They never cared about respect, about friendship, about knowledge, about intelligence, wisdom. These people bash their way through and demand, and will always face resistance from any intellectual person on this planet. This is what the activists don't get. You see, they think people are evil, but people don't want to cooperate with this, because people need civilized manners. And that's why even the manipulators, they win the game because they can act civilized. You see, it's very important how you act in terms of communication, in terms of delivering messages. So what's my message with this? Yeah, don't get too involved in the world, and search for your vibrations inside. You know, search for the dreams that tickle your saga, your story, your eternal tale, your love power, your dreams. And you can always go into this zone and you can feel massive power. And remember, when you was a child, everything you have felt from your whole life and every dream and thought you have, it just merges into one great sense of vibration, one sensation. And that's where you want to be. And this is where you pray, this is where you connect. And then you support these vivid actions with actions of improving yourself, of your diet, of your behaviors. Much like Eightfold Path of Buddhism, we're perfecting ourselves. That is the work. Not to master the world or perfect others. This is to master ourselves. This is not to dictate to others how a perfect world look. This is to be the perfect world we want to see. To paraphrase Gandhi. That is the business. It's not to keep this internal conflict, to keep this irritation going inside your nervous system. It won't bring you any good. Of this constant frustration that you are feeling and spreading in the world, it fosters hopelessness amongst the human race. This is the betrayal of the eternal spirit, of the eternal love that is reality. And yeah, the world is full of problems, and they don't have to be as bad as they are, of course. But that is also a voluntary choice. The humans have chose this way, right? And you have to accept that this is their choice, you see. They have broke up with you and your dreams. And the more you fight this, the more like an idiot you will look, and the more the people will eventually take you down. So that's why the mystics go to the mountaintop. It's not because they are afraid of the world, it's because they need to feel the truth inside. And so all mystics have disconnected from the humans and the world. And eventually, sometimes they come to the humans and they speak to the humans, knowingly that they are connected with a higher truth. They know a higher truth. But they don't demand people to follow their ways. They are simply spreading wisdom. Many of these people laugh and they are joyous, and it's fun to meet humans. Much like you meet some animals in the forest. It's excitement. But then go back to their practices, their meditations. So that is the way for the eternal. The eternal is an individual spiritual journey. It's not going to happen that all humans enter at the same time into these stages of light. So you might as well do it for yourself. You like Atlas. You are the pillar that carry the world. You are the meaning of life. And you should be happy and you should be proud of that. And you should foster that love inside yourself and not get caught up in the physical, in the outside world, in the external world. So that's my short message for today. And I wish you all a pleasant day. Bless.